All right, here we are. Always fashionably late. What's going on, Rich? What's going on, everybody? So yeah, welcome everybody. We're late as usual. Always my fault. Poor Rich, man. This guy, I don't know how he hasn't quit on me by now. Just because I have a good lawyer. So yeah, I'm always late, man. Usually we wear out his battery and his patience. Make sure you guys share this out. My name is Jake. That's Rich over there. On the controls and with most of the logic we have here on the show. We are live right now on YouTube, Twitch, and D Live under the name Vantage Point USA. And we are live on Periscope under the name Total News Network. So please, my people, I need you to go over to YouTube, Vantage Point USA, YouTube, Vantage Point USA, and subscribe over there and hit the notifications. And we always say that every show. Why? Because we all know that on Periscope and Twitter, they cannot stand pages like ours. They definitely cannot. So if we ever get shut down, at least we're over there and we're on D Live and Twitch. So what's going on, Rich? Oh, I didn't see that. So I know earlier I was watching in Wisconsin, they were starting, march down the street, the March of the Misfits, as I call it. And of course, I showed the Trump, meeting, which was awesome, which was totally awesome. And then I seen it getting a little crazy. And then I just had to catch some sleep. So. Wait, they're saying they can't hear you. They can't hear you. Can't hear me, or they can't hear Rich?
No, it was me. It was me. No Rich audio. Thank you, Space Cal. Appreciate it. And hello again. And I was telling about Eldon, talking about the fact that they were finally using the high pressure cannons now that Trump had gotten there. I guess they're feeling a little more bold to use the cannons on the Misfits, and that's great. Yeah, that is awesome.
Absolutely. And quick cheers to everybody. I'm drinking my usual Captain and Coke.
Yes.
And hope you guys drink responsibly, which means if you get drunk enough, you use a sippy cup.
Oh, man. So where do we even begin? So I think it's really funny that today the suspected Portland shooter called himself 100% Antifa, whatever, was previously arrested, but he was released and never charged on previous charges. But the main thing is, for all the politicians who claim that this didn't exist, it was not actually a thing, the man has said 100% that he is with Antifa. So yeah, that puts paid that to rest, I guess.
Yeah. You're talking about the shooting in Portland where the killed the Patriot Prayer. Well, I don't know if he was definitely Patriot Prayer or just somebody who was like Back to Blue Patriot Prayer. But I call him Jay. They had his name as Jay Bishop, but you have the proper name. Right?
No, Jay Bishop. Yeah, no,
So am I confusing that? I know that his name, they call him Jay. That's his like nickname.
Yeah, Jay Bishop. Yeah, he has what was his actual name? But he goes by Jay. But it's Aaron is what I think it was, or that was the other guy. But Jay, Trump said some nice things about him today. He was with that group. They're trying to label it as a alt-right group, of course, like they do everybody. Yeah. But even the guy who runs it, who's Joey Gibson, even said, "Hey, you know what? He rejects white supremacists. He's like, F the white supremacists, F the neo-Nazis," in a rally he organized in Seattle. So this group is not about that.
So yeah, they're saying definitely Patriot Prayer and Aaron, like you said, right? Aaron.
Right.
And yeah, alt-right would even be okay. Alt-right, sure. But white supremacists, I mean, they label the Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer white supremacists when they have more people of color, blacks and people of color in their organizations than the Black Lives Matter marches have.
Right.
Usually you have two people that are black on a megaphone and then 99% white malnourished misfits Fortnite players.
Yes.
I mean, they have more people of color in those groups than that. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to play, and it's going to be the video, because there's something that's super, super important here that people may or may not have seen. If they haven't watched it or they have not heard the actual audio of it, I'm going to let it loop just a couple times here. So check this out here. Now, there's a couple things. Now, the couple things that are bone chilling here to actually listen to are the fact that obviously they didn't say here's a fascist. They didn't say here's a Nazi. They said here's a Trump supporter. And this guy says right here, and that's when
we got a couple right here.
Yeah, and he said, yeah, we got him right here, and that's when he shoots. Now, some of the people have been saying that it was in response to him spraying at the guy with the bear spray, whatever he had. That was actually why the guy shot at him. But I did go ahead and slow down the video so we could see this, and this was that the gun was actually, prior to the spray actually getting to him. This is at the moment where the spray was just sprayed, and you can see it if you go to YouTube and you slow it down. It was already there. The gun was already drawn. This was not in response. I would argue that this kid or this gentleman actually saw the gun drawn, was trying to spray at the guy, and was already shot. I mean, even in the shots before the spray is done, if you slow it down enough, you can see the hand extended at the same height, showing that that it was there. So, man, yeah, this is a cold, calculated murder. But once again, one of the things to note is that this guy was shot because he was a Trump supporter. That's clear and simple. And this shows you that these people care nothing about fascism. They care nothing about Nazism. All they care about is anarchy, and that's all they're looking for. And wow, what do you think?
Well, what I think is they definitely hunted him down, and the most important thing, prayers to his family, and and prayers for Kyle, who was clearly defending himself, which we'll probably get in a little bit. It's just sad, man, because and how the media right away, first, anytime there's a shooting, they're like, oh, white supremacists, shot at peaceful protesters. And then they find out, no, it's actually the opposite. And
right.
And it's just sad. And the media is on their side. So, and I've been saying that these anarchists are not left wing. I mean, some of them are. They're definitely not Trump supporters. But, you could see them firing fireworks at Ted Wheeler's building last night or the night before. They don't have a political party. They want chaos. And to me, they're hired by the left. Oh. But as soon as they're done with, being paid, they'll turn on them, and they're already turning on them. They're like Hitler's brown shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things to note is that this is not like a fringe part of these people. This is the mainstream part of these people. This is actually what they want. This is what they believe. Matter of fact, I'm going to play another little clip here. This was the response to this poor guy getting shot. This was the response that they had.
No, Phoebe saying, did you already start it?
Community can hold its own without the police. We can take out the trash on our own. I am not sad that a fascist died tonight.
This shows you where their heart's at. And like Phoebe was saying, yeah, we know who shot the gun. But I just want to reiterate the point that A, it was unprovoked. B, he was shot because he was a Trump supporter. And yeah, and it's just sad. Like John Doe says, yeah, a human died. Exactly. And it's, yeah, and it's crazy. And then you go to Kyle, and now we talk about Kyle and this poor kid. We don't have the exact footage of the exact moment that I have not seen it. If anybody knows it's out there and has seen it, we know that there was a dumpster fire. We know that he came around with a fire extinguisher. I don't know if he was actually, it was indeterminable whether or not he was the one who actually put the fire out. But we do know that Rosenbaum, the guy who was actually the one that was instigating and that he shot, does have a criminal record. Here's his, this is from the Phoenix penal system. And this guy right here, obviously in 2002, sexual conduct with a minor. Once again in 2014, I guess he tried to take his monitor off. And then this is the guy's who's who of infractions, of 40 of them, including assault of the staff, assault of staff numerous times, many other infractions that this guy had in jail, which begs the question as to whether or not, well, it doesn't even beg the question. Yeah, are these people paid? Who are they collecting up to instigate this? Not the people that are from Berkeley or from any of the schools around there, but who are the people that are actually paid to incite this stuff? Are they just picking up? Because you're going to tell me Rosenbaum actually cares about Black Lives Matter? You telling me he has some moral agenda that he's just feeling all about the Black Lives Matter movement? No, these people are sent there. They're sent there to, with an agenda, with a mission.
Bill Barr said it today that like 80% of them that are arrested are not even from there. They were from Chicago and California and everywhere else. And I think the guy that Kyle, put out of his misery, put us all out of our misery having that guy alive.
Right.
Sorry. He's a white guy, and he was saying the N-word in the gas station when they initially were getting in an argument over and over and over. Now, I understand they say, well, if black people say it, but he's a white guy saying that word over and over and over. Nobody should say it. But you're going to tell me you're for Black Lives Matter while you're saying that? So, yeah.
Yeah, and and once again, the other shooting was done by the Patriot Prayer guy. That guy, what is his name? He's also a white dude. So few of these people are actually, anyway, we could get into that. But so here's the coroner's thing. I find it funny that this guy who was arrested back in 2002 suffered a gunshot wound to the right groin. I don't know. I just found that poetic justice. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he was a white guy. That Rosenbaum was, and so was the guy who shot the Patriot Prayer, Jay, who shot him. So, yeah, just a really sad events. And then you got then you got this guy. I'm sure everybody saw the office of Mayor Ted Wheeler, City of Portland again. We don't need your politics, and it says on behalf of the City of Portland, no thanks. We don't need your politics of division and demagoguery. Portlanders are on to you. We have already seen your reckless disregard for human life and bumbling response to the COVID pandemic, and we know that you reached the conclusion that images of violence or vandalism are your only ticket to re-election. Are you kidding me? Only now are the Democrats and Biden with his speech in Pennsylvania actually even mentioning the fact that there should be some shame cast on these protesters for what they're doing. Prior to this,
Of course.
they were all about it's yeah.
Well,
And
that's because they did a poll and they were like, oh, which we've been saying, they're only letting this happen because it's their Hail Mary. They have no candidate. The guy, I don't know what he's doing. He's eating paint chips or something, Biden. And they have no policies. So this is their Hail Mary. And now they're realizing, whoa, this ain't working. So now they go, oh, we better reverse course,
yep.
and we better say we're against this now. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Phoebe's talking about Kyle's attorney said Rosenbaum tried to grab the gun. Yeah, and they did try to grab a gun, and so did the poor guy who tried to tackle him on the street, tried to grab a gun. That's why he got was shot in the heart. So, yeah, but
the one guy tried to curb stomp him,
yeah,
and he missed. And let me tell you, we all know because we watch it video after video almost every night.
He would have been
They
dead.
will jump you 20 on 1, 10 on 1. They would have killed Kyle.
Easily.
Killed him. There's no doubt.
Without a doubt. Absolutely would have killed him. And so you got to ask yourself in a common sense sort of manner, okay, who gains more? Trump to go ahead and put the protesters to rest, or these liberal mayors to keep the protests going to try to make Trump look like he doesn't have any control? But the reason it backfires, and the reason I think it comes back to him, is because by law, Trump cannot do anything unless invited into these cities. He can't arbitrarily send troops into the cities unless he wants to declare insurrection, which is another ball of wax, and I doubt they would actually go there. So,
and John Doe bringing up Antifa terrorist. I know they said they were going to, President Trump said we should declare them, a terrorist organization. Well, what the hell are we waiting on?
Yep.
And of course, under the RICO Act and all that, follow the money.
Yep.
I even tweeted it out. I'm like pissed off. Like, I know a lot of people are saying that, he'll do a lot more after the election. But if you see, we called all this. So does everybody. I mean,
right.
I'm not going to say that we don't see what everybody else sees. But we know that they were going to be like two reasons. They were going to try to force Trump to overreact and look like a dictator. Or they can say, well, look at Trump's America. It's in chaos. And here they are, as we get close to the election, saying this is Trump's America. We know their playbook. They have nothing else. The race card shows up every 4 years.
Yep.
Every 4 years,
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And it's just sad. But yeah, that's
I don't know what this delivering pizza is. Anytime I see pizza emojis in chat, I get nervous. I don't know what they mean, but I could tell you right now, totally against child trafficking, and child trafficking is disgusting, and those people should be put to death. Absolutely. I'm not saying that the person that typed that is making any pizza references to child trafficking, but I don't know if you know that, Rich, that these are freaks, and not this person, because I think I recognize the name. They use pizza emojis and all kinds of weird shit, these freaks. So.
Yeah, and 10 minutes to craps roulette a fortune. Love it. Yes, I've pinned my hopes on that numerous times, and doesn't always happen. But yeah, so the thing about the martial law, it could. I don't know. We'll see. I thought there's a movie or a documentary that I think everybody should watch. It's called Seattle is Dying, and this thing was done a year ago. And it's not predicated on COVID. It's not predicated on these riots. This was simply a thing about how Seattle and Portland and San Francisco are dying out, and it's because of the liberal policies where they're not allowing the police to do anything. The homelessness is out of sight, and they keep trying to say that it's a housing crisis when actually it's the meth and the cocaine and all the stuff that's on the streets that are actually causing homelessness. And they've just watered down all these laws, and just watch it. It'll give you an eye-opening to what is actually going on here. And even though it seems like this is just driven towards Trump, they have been letting their cities go in the crapper for years now. And Portland, per 100,000 people, Portland had 3,800 property crimes and other crimes per 100, which was only beat by San Francisco. And just in a comparison, New York per 100,000 people only had like 1,400 per 100,000, which if New York's only got that, and these people, Seattle, same way, all that. watch the documentary. It's a real eye opener.
Yeah, what's the name of that again?
It's called Seattle is Dying, and it was actually done, I think, by KOWO, which was a news organization. I'll pull it up here and find out for sure.
Where do you find that, on YouTube?
Yeah, it was just a YouTube thing that came across, and I just happened to click on it. And I was like, wow, are you kidding? You know, where you're urinating and defecating in the streets is nothing. It's, yeah.
Well, it's amazing to me, Rich, because the Democrats can't even run their own district.
No.
With homelessness and needles in the streets and feces and urine and all that. But you're going to talk about Trump and how he runs America, or you're going to try, like Kamala Harris, try to run for vice president and going to tell us how to run the country when you can't even control your own district. Now, the woman, the viewers will know, our viewers will know, in chat, the woman who spray painted or poured paint all over the Black Lives Matter mural, she went down there in Kamala Harris's district. And oh my God, man, that video is crazy. I can't recall her name right now. She goes, she's becoming really a loud voice.
Good.
A loud voice. And she's a big Christian. What's going on, Glay?
Yeah, Milo.
Jake, is Rich carrying you again? Yeah, he's carrying me again.
No, not carrying him, but I did have to wake him up. Okay, I did have to wake him up.
Yeah, I know. I think I have this shadow from my hat. That's on purpose, by the way. You don't see the bags under my eyes from staying up all night with my people here.
Oh man, yeah. And Milo was, he said Como, Komo, is who he thinks the news station was that did it. I think it was a news station. So yeah,
I Phoebe saying Bevelin. Bevelin is her name. Yes, Bevelin Beatty.
Okay.
Our viewers, bro.
They're good. Hey, they're awesome. And so I would encourage people to watch it. And if you have kids, share it with your kids so they don't get the wrong impression. You know, I don't know. It's just really weird. And we talk about the colleges, we talk about the kids, we talk about the indoctrination, and we talk about the things that they're really being taught. And one of the things I feel that they're really being taught is jealousy. Okay. And there's two types of jealousy that they can have. The one jealousy is like, if you win the lottery, okay, people will be jealous of you, but they're jealous of you because they didn't win the lottery. Okay. But you're not a threat to them, because you didn't do anything to earn it. You were just more lucky than them. And, ultimately, they can hope that the money ruined your life, and then they're pacified at the end of the day. However, if you create a successful business, if you create a successful brand, if you are successful at life, then you're a threat to these people, right? Am I right? Because
Absolutely.
In that jealousy, they see themselves and they see their inadequacies and they see their shortcomings, okay? Now, because they don't want to take responsibility and they don't want to carry a moral load, they will make accusations that everything that you have is because there was a disproportionate amount of power in your favor. Okay. If that doesn't work, then what they start to do is they go ahead and argue whether or not merit or competency even exists. And that's where the postmodernists, that's where they come from.
Wow.
So when you have written off competence and you've written off goodness, and when you have written off your own, any type of responsibility, then you can go after other people. And that's what makes their miserable lives have some sort of meaning to them. But the problem is that's a nihilistic wormhole. You get bitter, you get resentful, you get cruel, then you get homicidal, and eventually you get genocidal. So it's a slippery slope. So you got to be careful of what you're actually, it's why you got to take responsibility. And not just just social responsibility. You have to take responsibility for yourself, because responsibility gives you a trajectory and it gives you a target. And when you take on responsibility, you realize that who you can be is better than who you are. Okay. And so you're always striving to improve. And I don't know. And when you take the responsibility for your own failings and your own shortcomings, of course, then it's not about condemnation. Then you have hope. But I could go, Nietzsche said that we all make our own we all make our own meaning. And then Jung came around and he said that, well, the meaning's inside you. You just have to find it. But responsibility is the key. And that's why you have to teach your kids responsibility. And I know I'm just blathering on about this stuff, but it's what they're being taught in schools. It's what you have to fight. So as a parent or anybody who knows young people, it's what you got to teach them. And that's why these people don't want to take responsibility and want to say that the people that are in the upper levels of the hierarchy have only gotten there because they must have done something wrong to get there. So anyway, I'll get off that soapbox, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Reparations that they're demanding reparations
Right.
for what slaves faced, 100 years ago.
Right.
You want somebody to pay you because you're too lazy to go out and damn work.
Right.
And get a fucking job. You know what I mean? Seriously. It's crazy. So I got great news before you go into the next thing. Great news for all our viewers. Most of you know, but some of you don't. The loudmouth, disgusting, if I can say, woman in Portland who is pretend she's press because she writes press on her helmet with a crayon. Yep. Got arrested. Arix, the mouth, Johnson, got arrested. It was awesome. And she's like, oh, wait, no, you ripped my press pass off. Wait, and they're like, no, you're under arrest. She's like, no, I'm not. I mean, that just shows you the privilege and the entitled. No, you are arrested.
You're arrested.
Say, no, I'm not. Like you're talking to your parents, like you're grounded. No, I'm not grounded. No, you are, and you're arrested, by the way. And if you keep resisting, you're going to meet the pavement. It was beautiful. But I want to point out another thing in that video, which was just great. That's the second time we watched her get arrested. The first time they really just tackled it. It was beautiful. She's always saying ACAB, all cops are bastards, right? That's all she's saying. They were so nice to her. She's like, please, can you put my cell phone in my pocket? And they're like, don't worry, we're gonna make sure that they don't put it into into the evidence locker. We'll make sure it stays with. They were so nice to her.
Stays with you.
She goes back out on the street and chants all cops are bastards. After how many cops were nice to her? I heard at least 3, especially a woman cop, so nice to her. After the stuff she talks all day, I mean, but she'll go out there because that's the optics. The optics is her screaming and the police, trying to get them to overreact. And
yeah, well, like Phoebe said, she's probably out by, unfortunately, she's probably out by now.
Oh yeah. That's the problem. Like this guy, that shot, Jay, this piece of crap Antifa lunatic. He was already arrested, the month before and the month before that for gun charges. For a felon who had a illegal gun. We were actually live, and it was the guy from Washington who goes around and picks up trash instead of video in like the protest. He'll be like, all right, I'm going to start I try when I'm at any protest to fill up like 13 bags of trash, and he's the guy. He's such a hack. He's the one who puts like the red circle in the title and writes live next to it, so when the video's over you wind up clicking on it. And I know all you people hate that. You're like, oh, here's something live, and then you go, oh no, he's just a hack. He puts it in his title. We were watching him when all of a sudden shots rang out in the park. It was during the day, and apparently somebody had a gun. Well, he got in a scuffle. He's claiming he got shot in his elbow, and he was arrested that day. So this guy, he has a history of, I think he's like a compulsive liar. He says he went over to Hong Kong and he did this and that. I think the guy's like a lunatic.
Well, one of the things that they did talk about though on one of the federal forums was the fact that you have a minimum mandatory and you don't have probation on the federal crimes, and that they are insisting that all the people that they actually do arrest for the federal crimes, they get the maximum time. Which poetic justice, once again, a little karma there. So, man, if you get busted for the federal crimes, and because like that guy who was hiding behind the door when the officers were coming out of the federal building, and he hit the one officer with that hammer that he was holding. Did you see him trying to hold the door from them getting out? And he didn't hit him hard. Trust me. He was surprised when they came swarming out of that place. He was like, oh, so that guy, federal charges, 25 years maximum, and will probably get all 25 and probably will not get earlier. Yeah.
Well, unless Biden wins, and then he'll pardon all of them.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's that too. So,
I mean, I can't imagine. Like honestly, if they vote for Biden and this, I'll be right back to where I thought America was before Trump came along and won.
Right.
Because I don't know how many people know how amazing that was. Everything was against Trump and us to win that election, but no weapon shall prosper, right?
That's true.
Formed against him. I mean, and I know people get triggered when you say, God appointed Trump. Oh my God, you want to talk about triggering some people? Holy cow! But I believe it. I don't care what you say. So
I don't know about the appointment of Trump, but it's all
I'm
his.
talking about as far as what he's doing for our country, fighting for God in school. Listen, the guy, obviously, we know he's a player and a playboy and all of that, and morally, whatever. But you're not going to invite him, to dinner.
Right.
Or if you were young and you wanted to date a guy, you wouldn't bring him home to your parents. Let's admit it. Let's be
Right.
serious. But as president, he's doing amazing things, especially fighting for, Christianity and stuff like that. So,
Well, yeah, I think his protective hand kept Hillary from winning. I'll go there and say that, obviously. And yes, if he is supporting the Christians that are under fire, and will be more so as the who was it, Omar, that was talking about she wants to see a Muslim nation here in the United States. I do want to go back and say something about
But we love Muslims. We whatever.
Yes.
I mean, I love all people of all colors and all religions.
Peaceful. Anybody's peaceful.
Right.
Susan was talking about the Supreme Court doesn't make the law; they interpret the law. Absolutely, and I wish they would do that more and more in coinciding with what the founding fathers actually meant. So yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I did want to address that. But anyway, so
I am nervous about this mail-in voting. I mean, all it takes is a couple of rogue mail carriers. And that could go on both sides. Let's be fair. Everybody knows, you can have a mail carrier that's totally against the Democrats that throws, thousands of ballots out or whatever, hundreds of ballots out in that area. But it's more likely that the left would do it, and throw out ballots into the dumpster,
Yeah, I mean, I know some people who work for the voting places. It is very stringent and very restricted. You're going to have regular mail carriers, rural mail carriers in charge of this stuff. You have no idea what their political bias is, what their affiliation is. You don't even know what their, I'm not going to say they have criminal records, but if they do have one, you wouldn't know about it anyway. You don't know what their proclivities for voting, or how much they hate Trump, or how much they love Trump, or how much they hate Biden, love Biden. I mean, you're going to throw this out into the public arena and trust that it's going through this many hands and in a mail center where it's going to sit overnight and it goes into these planes and these big bins and no one's going to mess with it. Yeah, you talk about just ripe for fraud. Yes, it is.
Yeah, look what happened in Broward County. Everybody knows I was on the ground there, and we were watching videos and cars, just people's personal cars showing up with boxes full of ballots that they found in, a janitor's closet and everything. And we were down there, just keeping an eye on it. And I hate to break it to everybody. I hate to break this news right here.
Break it.
But Ali, you didn't save Broward County. Stop with your stop the steal. You saved Broward County. They were going to steal the election. No, we voted for DeSantis.
Right.
Okay, we voted for DeSantis, and the lawyers inside stopped the steal. So stop it. You're a clown. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I did want to show this, and if anybody, because we do have smart viewers, it's actually absentee ballots are fine, because now they're obviously, this is a piece of mail that I got. Okay. It says urgent notice, securely and safely request your absentee ballot. What is fuzzed out? This came fuzzed out on the bottom. If anybody can go back and get the Twitter thing, absentee ballots are fine because you have to go through a precise process to get your voting privilege, and then the rest is blurred out. And it's so if anybody knows what that was even what that was even supposed to say and why it got fuzzed out. I mean, it looks like it was fuzzed out when it was printed. It doesn't look like it was, fuzzed out by the post office. But I'd like to know what that tweet said. And of course it's got the whole thing here of all the different steps. But anyway, so you can go back and look at that. And I got to look it up, but I got it today and I didn't have time before the show to actually do my research on it. So it doesn't matter. I'll be going there in person. You should be going there in person. You should take somebody with you in person. Trust me, this is an uber important vote. So much.
Absolutely. Well, I don't get mail because if you watch my videos about 2 months ago, I had moved to the woods because it was dangerous, to be white in America, and because of your white privilege, and we were like being shamed and shunned. So if you watch my video, I had moved to the woods, many joints. So I don't get mail out there. This green screen is actually up against a couple of trees. And I asked all the animals and birds to be quiet when I record. They're being very cooperative.
Are you saying that you had competence and goodness, and yet they accused all your success to just being your white privilege? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I never did receive my white privilege. It's probably stuck in the mail. I mean, I had to work for everything. So
most I've gotten is an AARP thing there. So, so I didn't have a ton more than that. I mean, obviously there is a ton more than that, but how much more?
Let's see. God, there's a million things. Just make sure you vote. I mean, we know what we're up against. There's going to be fraud rampant. So you have to bring three people with you to vote. And your homework assignment is get somebody registered to vote that's never voted before. That'd be cool just in general. You know what I mean? But this time we cannot just sit back and be like, oh, we got this. Nobody wants Biden. No way, man. No way.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby, you are late to the party if you're just getting here. Melinda, thank you very much for loving the drone footage. I went back and looked at it. I was totally embarrassed because it was choppy and it was like snapshots of things. The actual footage through the goggles, which is how I fly, is through the goggles. It was a beautiful day. It was very relaxing. It was peaceful. It was gorgeous. I'm going to work on that transmission speed and try to figure out how to actually get it rolling smooth. But yeah, so thank you for watching it. Thanks for liking. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, that video is beautiful, man. You have the DJI Phantom?
No, that's the Mavic. And then
Mavic. That's right. I might have said that on the show. I think I did say Phantom.
Yeah, and if anybody gets a drone, one thing I will is give a shout out for, not to say the racing goggles aren't awesome, but the one thing I will say is that the DJI goggles
we lost it.
Lost what? The stream? No, there's still.
I lost you.
Okay, I can still hear.
Your internet connection is unstable.
That's you. I can still hear you. We still got chat.
Wait, they're saying I'm unstable. How dare they? How dare you, sir?
Mentally. It was mental. It wasn't your cable. It wasn't your.
Yeah, we did definitely lose something because you froze and did that kind of eat.
Oh,
thing.
Okay.
That wasn't a yeet, by the way, but shout out to Steve, Freight Broker. That's his thing, yeet. And I know people that watch him definitely watch our show and the riots and stuff. And they'll go on the streamer's page and write yeet. Oh, my God. That's like an instant block right there.
Yeah, so a couple of things, if I'm actually on now. So somebody had mentioned about the ballots. Why are you getting ballots in the mail from North Carolina? I missed it. It went by, and I can't go by and grab chat because I'm not on Restream, so I only get like 3 chats at a time. But that's
okay.
But that
What are you looking for?
Someone had mentioned about why is she getting ballots in North Carolina. That's what this is. So I haven't read through it yet. Matter of fact, you may have seen me just break the seal. So I will look at that, and if it's anything of consequence, we'll bring it back for the next show.
Oh yeah. Do me a favor, everybody. Follow Sally O'Malley. That's MAGA Heather. Really good patriot out in California, fighting on the ground. Doesn't just stay behind her keyboard. She's out there fighting.
Man, she is a minority, as a MAGA out there. She needs all the support she can get.
Yeah, Sally O'Malley. They're on Periscope, definitely. Let's see. Somebody was saying something about mail-in ballots.
Yeah, I thought I saw. Just
Susan.
Okay.
On YouTube.
What's she saying?
Why am I getting mail-in ballot info from the RNC? That's what she's saying.
Let's see. President Trump is counting on you. North Carolina victory. Yeah, so this is paid for by the North Carolina Republican Party. That's who paid for this. So I don't know. Maybe they're getting a jump on it. I have no idea. But I've never cast an absentee ballot before, so I don't know why it would be there. But we'll do some research. We'll find out what that's about. So
Yes.
So I think it was Bobby saying that 10 Minutes talked about the fact he gave away his registered drone to his nephew. Good, then you can get an unregistered one so they can't track you and you can fly.
No, we're not suggesting that. The lawyers just told me no. We were kidding. So yeah, Bobby's a trip, man. He is funny. As the night goes on, oh my God, he gets funnier and funnier. We have a lot of knowledgeable and really funny people in chat late at night. They stay up all night with me. It's crazy, bro. I know you hang there for a couple hours, then you're like, somebody's got to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, I got employees that aren't going to do anything until I get there. So yeah, I got to get there. Yeah. But
so I don't really have anything else.
No.
Just prayers for our country.
Absolutely.
It's a mess right now. And I really don't have much more. I know there's a million other topics to cover, but
I drink. That's right. They accumulate throughout the evening, Bobby. I know. So one of the things, also another reason, not only the shadow banning, why it would be great if you could throw a subscribe there on YouTube, is because one of the things we found out, which may have affected the drone footage, is that you cannot. And I didn't know this. I beat my head for like 3 hours trying to figure out why I couldn't get my drone stuff uploaded. Until you get to 1,000 subscribers, you cannot do mobile streaming. Did not know that. Found that out the hard way. So we had to jump through hoops as far as how we were catching it and then rebroadcasting it, which may have affected the streaming stuff. Not that the drone footage itself is that important, but we thought, hey, it'd be cool to do the show sometimes, just doing the talking overlays while the drone's up in the air, at different locations, at the mountains, at the parks, whatever. Just as something different, just something to take the edge off the harshness of the subjects and the topics that are out there right now. So if you would think about it for that reason too, that would help. And but
you had to go to Just Jake, right, on YouTube.
Yeah, and then you picked it up, I think, and then put it through.
Oh yeah,
and then you put it through.
Either. That was a bad internet day. My thing was just sitting there while your drone was glitching. My thing was buffering, and people were like, somebody sent me here? What the hell?
Yeah, it didn't even look like it was live because, well, anyway, anybody who watches it, don't bother. It's choppy, but it's okay. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
No, it is good to change it up. Now, I know 4 years ago when I started and it would get crazy, I used to do trivia and show car chases, and I even had the fake news Periscope Awards, which everybody's saying, please do that again. So I'm probably going to have to do that again because there's so many candidates now to do the my face looks good. Oh, thank you. I have the perfect face for radio. So many people are saying do the fake news Periscope Awards again. We have so many candidates, I can't even tell you. So
we could do that, and then we could do quotes and see who could guess who said the quote of all the liberal politicians that are out there. Oh, by the way, there was the top 30 Joe Biden. I would encourage you to send this to anybody who's on the fence of whether or not they're going to vote for Biden. It was the 30 most sleepy Joe moments that are out there. It was the top 30. Man, if you watch this thing like one after the other, after the other, after the other, oh man, it is sad. It would be sad if Joe Biden's not a Trojan horse and Kamala's the one they're trying to get. Would be the presumptive president after they have to declare him mentally incompetent. So people, he will not make it through his presidency, and look at what you're going to be left with. And really, if one scares you, the other should terrify you. And so like I said.
No, I know. There was one just this week where he was talking about COVID and talking about 100 years. And, oh, man, it was.
Yeah, you were saying just the other day he was doing it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Not good. It was sad. And I personally, I tweeted out that this is like a crime against the elderly. I mean, exploiting this guy. If he was anybody else, they would be like, how dare you try to put this guy on camera and do that? That would be like exploiting somebody. I mean, it's sad.
Well, you see.
And I know what you're saying. Like, it's not sad. It's actually scary because we know they don't want him as president. He's just a vessel Trojan horse, perfect example.
Yeah, yeah, and Pelosi's already trying to lay the groundwork. Man, Joe Biden can talk like he really wants to debate. He doesn't want to, and he knows he doesn't want to. Pelosi knows he doesn't want to, and Pelosi came out with that statement about, he shouldn't even dignify Trump for the presidency by going. No, she knows. She knows he will get eaten. You take that teleprompter out from in front of him, you yank that earpiece out of his ear, that poor guy will be foundering up there when he gets hit back and forth with facts. Which, by the way, one of the facts is I think it's funny that Kamala Harris has that video in which she denounces Biden and says that she thinks the accusers probably were right, but yet now she finds it okay to run as his running mate, which I find hilarious too. The hypocrisy knows no end.
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about real quick. This is important.
Sure.
This Jacob, I'm not even going to say his name. The guy that was shot 7 times in the back in Kenosha.
Yeah.
Nobody, including Alyssa Milano and the Me Too movement, nobody's talking about allegedly the girl who called 911. He raped her, went into her house, and I'm not even going to say what he did. It was like, you're cheating, and he tried to prove it, and it was disgusting. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody. This is why they're shutting down NBA games, which I could care less, and why they shut down my New York Islanders. I'm so mad at them. Why do they pick, as Candace Owens says, the lowest common denominator to make them your hero? Nobody's talking about this guy raped him. First, you remember he was just an innocent guy that pulled over to break up a fight. Remember that?
Right.
He was breaking up a fight, and the cops attacked him. Why didn't they use a stun gun? Oh crap! What? They did use a stun gun? Well, why didn't they only shoot him once? I mean, they just keep moving the. Nobody's talking about that. That's how disgusting our media is. Media is disgusting, bro.
No, you were about to say it perfect. Moving the goalpost. That's exactly what they keep doing. And Susan, for the heels up Harris, great reference. And I don't know the name. Was basically given her position and helped along during her political career when she was either dating or married to that 62-year-old guy who was like a mainstay in politics for God knows how many years. God, I have to look up his name, but yeah, Susan threw that reference up there. That was a good one because I read about that. So
yeah, they had asked Kamala Harris why she always wears hoop earrings, and she said a place to keep her feet. So I don't know what that's about. Anyway, that's an old one. We're bringing that back.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, I appreciate everybody, man, and all they are making this page so popular. So popular that I have to take every video down that isn't like this. Every video down because they're totally mass reporting these pages. So great job to everybody that shares this and tells me what city, is popping off, and you guys are really doing great. 760 something subscribers on YouTube, and just getting the word out. And those people that sent messages saying how much they appreciate it. I didn't realize the full extent of how important a page like this is, where you can find like-minded people, but not a echo chamber, because there's all kinds of opinions in here. Just a place to watch these videos and actually be able to express your opinion without being blocked. If you type, these people are disgusting, or back to blue, and then you get blocked. I knew it was important, but the messages that we get really lets me know this is like therapy for people. And I feel bad for you if you're coming to me for therapy. I gotta be honest.
He's sent more women to therapy than he's ever. But no,
that was the 80s.
That was the 80s. That's a long time ago. And after seeing how little coverage there was of the Patriot Prayer gentleman getting shot on the news. And what they did was just very vague and all that. And the only reason they did that is because, and 100%, and we talked about last week about the fact that Facebook's canceled. Now this is on Q, QAnon, but he's labeled now as, or his people, not even him, whether or not you adhere to Q or you believe in Q or whatever. The main thing is that Facebook is taking upon themselves to pretend they're a publisher and fire 10,000 pages, 500 some odd groups, all this that were referencing Q. That's a scary thing. Not because whether or not you believe the Q stuff is real or not. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter about that. is that Facebook is and these other social media places are overstepping their bounds of what they were simply supposed to be a portal of ideas. They were not supposed to be a publisher, and that's why they got the protection that they got. So that's why pages like this and any other page that you can find, if it's credible, they can source their stuff and stuff, or ideologically they fall into your wheelhouse. That's why it's important to support them, to make sure that they stay around, because trust me, there will be a day when free news, news about freedom will be hard to find. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, their bias is so obvious. So yesterday I was covering the guy that was shot in L.A. Yesterday it was another shooting. And they were saying 2 white cops shot a black guy, and it turns out they were Hispanic in LA. And the guy that was covering it was the AF report or something like that, a black guy. The most racist guy I've ever heard allowed to speak on any platform is a black guy. Totally flat out said, I don't want any white people watching my stuff. I only want black people. But right at the end, before he goes off, he's telling people to call 911 and just make up stuff. Send the police to an empty building. Just keep calling and send them on wild goose chases. How is that guy not charged criminally and his page not taken down?
That's right.
I mean, I know a million people that reported it.
Well,
but you're going to put disclaimers under Trump's tweet.
And let's not only mention this, which, by the way, Rocky, hello, I haven't seen you in a long time, buddy. I hope you're doing well. But here's the other thing, too. Now that this guy has come out and said, I am 100% Antifa. Now that he's come out and said, are they going to be allowed to continue on their social media pages? Why? Because they've tied their little wagon to Black Lives Matter when they're actually driving the wagon. Why are they not going to get banned? Why are they not getting instantly shut down? So, yeah.
Well, we know why. I mean, that's why we're asking people to, go on YouTube, and it's only a matter of time. YouTube has shut a lot of people down too.
Yeah.
But since we're on YouTube, we love you, YouTube.
Yeah, you're great guys. Thumbs up.
Really
Subscribe.
Appreciate it. No, it's getting out of hand, man.
It is.
I'm really surprised that, I know there is Parler. Parler, you'll probably have to say it because I kill it with my accent.
Parler.
I say Florida and there's no R and then I don't use R's where they're supposed to be. So that's my accent. So a lot of people think I'm from Boston. I'm not. I'm from North Korea.
Yes.
And a lot of people can't pick up the accent. And like we were talking about online security, that these people that go on Facebook and they use their full name and they have their friend list open and where they worked and their college. And I'm like, lock that down. If you're going to go on Facebook and comment on these streamers' pages or anybody, and you're just like saying, I love the police, you have no idea you're going to be under attack. And I tell people, like, they have no idea. Like, I use a voiceover and some video effects. I'm actually a tiny Asian woman. That's what I tell people. It's amazing, technology now. You can't even tell. So there it is, smallasianwoman.com. Bobby always puts that link out. And I told people, do not click on that link. That goes right to his crochet website. And he's always trying to sell me a sweater. And I'm like, I live in Florida, dude. I don't care that you spend 12 hours knitting me a sweater. I'm not buying it. So
yeah, and Susan referenced my sore spot, which is the NBA and sports in general and how they're treating this. And so we won't go into that. We'll get back to it again. So anyway, I have nothing else. And you?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Probably going back to bed. To be honest, and then I'll wake up. What time is it? I don't even know what day it is, what time it is. You got
to be up for the riots later.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're going to be in Kenosha and everywhere else. Believe me.
Well, guys, we always say you could have been anywhere you wanted to. You chose to be here. Why? We don't know, but thank you. Thanks a lot. We appreciate the support. We appreciate you watching. We're going to try to do the outro. You don't have to watch it. It looks just like the intro, just because I'm lazy and Jake didn't like the spinning broccoli that I had on the last outro, so I just changed it to this. So anyway, God bless you guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you the next time, okay?